House of Horror begins with an unsettling quiet, a stillness that belies the chaos soon to come, establishing immediately that the story is less about overt terror and more about creeping psychological dread. The episode opens on a foggy evening, the streetlights casting dim halos over wet pavement, creating a liminal space between reality and nightmare. The house itself looms in the distance, an architectural relic with peeling paint and a sagging roof, suggesting neglect but hinting at secrets hidden within. From the first scene, the audience is made aware that the house is more than a location. It is a repository of memory, fear, and malevolence, a character whose presence is felt even when it is not directly shown. The first act introduces a solitary protagonist, a writer seeking inspiration in isolation, whose curiosity about the house mirrors the audience's own desire to explore the unknown. The writing on the walls, the strange arrangement of furniture, and the faint echoes of past events all serve to immerse viewers in a world where the line between imagination and reality is deliberately blurred. One of the episode's most striking techniques is its use of perspective to manipulate fear. Hallways stretch unnaturally, doors seem to move when unobserved, and shadows flicker just beyond the corner of the eye. These visual distortions are paired with a soundscape that is both subtle and disorienting. Distant footsteps, whispering voices, and sudden silences that feel heavy with anticipation. This meticulous combination of visual and auditory cues exemplifies Tales from the Crypt's mastery in creating suspense that is felt as much as it is seen. The narrative progresses through a series of escalating encounters that blend the supernatural with the psychological. The protagonist begins to experience vivid hallucinations that may be induced by the house itself, by his own fears, or by a combination of both. Scenes in which he revisits previous occupants' personal items, such as letters, photographs, and trinkets, are imbued with a sense of haunting intimacy, as though the house preserves memories like a sentient being. Each discovery heightens the tension, leading to moments of confrontation with entities that are both grotesque and eerily human, emphasizing the duality of horror in the series. The fear of the unknown and the recognition of familiar, distorted humanity. A pivotal moment occurs when the protagonist discovers a hidden room behind a false bookshelf, revealing an altar of macabre artifacts and remnants of occult rituals. The cinematography here is particularly effective. Close-up shots of cryptic symbols, flickering candlelight casting dancing shadows, and the oppressive atmosphere of the confined space combine to create a sense of suffocating dread. The narrative uses these discoveries not only to frighten, but also to explore themes of obsession, isolation, and the consequences of delving too deeply into forbidden knowledge. Character development is handled with careful attention, ensuring that the horror is grounded in human experience. The protagonist's transformation from cautious observer to obsessed investigator is depicted through subtle visual cues. His increasingly disheveled appearance, the frantic nature of his note-taking, and his growing detachment from reality and other people. These changes make the audience empathize with his plight, understanding that the true horror may lie not only in the house but in the human mind's susceptibility to fear and obsession. The episode also employs irony and dark humor, a hallmark of Tales from the Crypt, to balance the tension. Moments of darkly comic absurdity, such as objects moving in ways that contradict logic or seemingly benign characters behaving with sinister motives, provide relief while reinforcing the unpredictability of the narrative. These elements ensure that the story remains engaging on multiple levels, appealing to both the intellect and the visceral reactions of the audience. One of the most memorable sequences involves a confrontation with a spectral figure that represents the culmination of the protagonist's fears. The figure, at once terrifying and tragic, challenges the protagonist to confront the consequences of his curiosity and moral choices. The scene is meticulously staged, using lighting, camera angles, and sound to amplify tension while maintaining narrative clarity. The resolution, when it comes, is both shocking and inevitable, a combination of surprise and poetic justice that exemplifies the series' narrative philosophy. Horror is most effective when it arises naturally from the story's internal logic rather than from arbitrary shocks. In addition to its technical and narrative achievements, House of Horror is thematically rich, exploring the intersection of curiosity, morality, and the supernatural. The episode prompts reflection on human tendencies to pursue knowledge, the dangers of isolation, and the psychological impact of confronting the unknown. These themes are woven seamlessly into the plot, ensuring that viewers are engaged both emotionally and intellectually throughout. Personal anecdotes from viewers of this episode often highlight its lasting impact. Many recall being drawn into the narrative alone at night, feeling a palpable tension as they followed the protagonist through the house's labyrinthine passages. Others have recounted sharing the experience with friends, noting the thrill of collective suspense and the way discussions after viewing deepened their understanding and enjoyment of the story. Such responses underscore the episode's enduring appeal and the effectiveness of its storytelling techniques. Comparisons with other horror anthologies reveal that Tales from the Crypt consistently elevates its narratives through attention to character, atmosphere, and moral complexity. Where some series prioritize graphic imagery or relentless shocks, House of Horror demonstrates that carefully constructed suspense and psychological tension can be equally, if not more, compelling. The episode's layered approach to horror, combining supernatural elements with human vulnerability, ensures that it resonates long after the credits roll. In conclusion, House of Horror is a quintessential Tales from the Crypt episode, blending masterful storytelling, immersive cinematography, complex characters, and rich thematic content. It exemplifies the power of horror to engage viewers on multiple levels, provoking fear, curiosity, and reflection simultaneously. Its meticulous construction, from visual and auditory design to narrative pacing and character development, ensures that it remains a memorable and influential entry in the series. The episode's enduring impact lies not only in its capacity to frighten, but also in its ability to evoke thought and discussion, inviting viewers to consider the deeper implications of curiosity, fear, and human vulnerability. House of Horror reminds audiences that the most effective horror is not always the loudest or bloodiest, but the one that lingers in the mind, shaping perception and imagination long after the final scene. Its careful blend of suspense, irony, and thematic depth makes it a masterpiece of the anthology, deserving of continued study and admiration by fans and critics alike.